What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we got some more Riddler Coup updates, and we're going to be sharing some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaks, riddles, and rumors. And we got a lot to talk about, including interesting things about the story. We're going to be talking about some characters and much, much more. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. To begin, we're going to talk about the story of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we got some new leaks from Riddler Coup talking about the story. So he tweeted this picture called The Lake House. This is a movie featuring Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, and it's a movie actually about time travel, which is very interesting. And he does say that try to project their relationship into Titan. So these two characters are the main characters of the lake house, and they're in love with each other, but they live in different times. It actually is a 2-year difference between them being in the same house. So essentially, they're writing letters to the past and to the future, and they put the letter in the mailbox. And once the mailbox is closed, the other person will then receive the letter 2 years earlier or 2 years later, right? Depending on which person is receiving or giving the letter, right? So that's essentially what I think is going to happen to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I'm going to say this, I think this is going to happen to the professors. So there has to be a reason why there's two professors in Scarlet and Violet. One is version exclusive. I think that this movie may actually really relate to that. So let's say you pick the Scarlet professor, you're going to have her try to essentially use the legendary Pokemon so she can get back to the other professor who is trapped in the past in her game. And I guess in a Violet game, the Scarlet professor will be trapped in the future. So that's what I'm going to be guessing, that the two professors have some sort of relationship with each other and they're trying to get the other one back. And to do that, they're going to have to get the box legendary in order to complete their goals. I think there's a fair assessment based on this riddle here. And then he also tweets out this, you would see similar stuff in Titan, and this is about a video game called Detroit Become Human. It's a PlayStation game. It's also on PC now. Pretty interesting game overall, and pretty funny. I will have to say, though, after playing this game, I think this would probably be about how there are androids. So there's real people and androids, and essentially like what makes someone human. And I do believe that maybe this could talk about what if some of the characters are not actually human? What if they're androids from the future? Or maybe what if there are Pokemon who are made by humans, but are they actually a Pokemon? Would you consider them a Pokemon? This game does have a lot of themes, though, so I think it is worth exploring a little bit deeper. But overall, I do think it's going to center on the androids themselves. Then Riddler Coup tweeted out this Titan V, and then some Japanese we're going to have to translate. So when directly translated, we can see that it says Titan V close, but that is not the correct translation. And honestly, Google Translate isn't really too good with the nuance of this. But when we scroll down here, we can see that it actually translates to Titan Villains, and this is a manga called Crows, and this manga is actually about a bunch of Japanese delinquents and their story. So now I'm thinking that the villains of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is going to be a gang of maybe more like high school or college level delinquents, sort of maybe like a Team Skull type of thing, but maybe more of a Yakuza type of vibe to them, and a much more adult and maybe more serious. So we'll have to wait and see, but I know no one has really been talking about what the potential enemy team is, and I really think this is some cool speculation that we can actually do of this. And then they tweet out Titan R, BWXY Sword and Shield, so Black and White XY and Sword and Shield, FFM. So what does Titan R actually stand for? Well, because we were talking about villains in the previous tweet, now we're going to be talking about rivals, Titan rival. So something similar to Black and White, X and Y, and Sword and Shield. And it seems like there's going to be 2 female rivals and 1 male rival. When we compare the rivals from X and Y, Black and White, and Sword and Shield to Scarlet and Violet, which we only know one rival about, we can sort of see what potentially what the other rivals will be. So if we see Nirona here, and essentially she's probably gonna be like N and Chirin, most likely. She already is like a mentoring, like professor student type of character, which does fit with like N and Chirin. So we'll have to see if the other characters end up being like maybe BD or maybe like the X and Y cast. We're just gonna have to wait and see, of course. But I think it's interesting that we're getting more information on the rivals too. I love that type of info. And then Riddler Coup confirms that all the gym leaders in Elite Four of Scarlet and Violet will have occupations. So each character will have a job and it'll probably fit into what their actual theme is. And he does have a personal take here. His personal take is his favorite gym leader, teased by the official of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Trailer 1. She is so sexy and has a tear mole apparently. And his favorite Elite Four member is an elegant and valiant. Remind me of Takarazuka. And we don't know who Takarazuka is looking at this tweet here. Takarazuka Rive is a Japanese all-female musical theater troupe based in the city of Takarazuka. So pretty much one of the Elite Four members is going to be probably a lady and probably going to be a theater type of trainer. So we're going to have to see what kind of Pokemon type that actually ends up being. But I think that's going to be really interesting too. Then Riddler Coup started tweeting out all these birthday things randomly. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but part of me does suspect that we were actually supposed to see a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trainer this past Friday. But unfortunately, because there was an assassination of a politician on that Friday, Japanese media pretty much stopped making any sort of news that day. They're all covering that. So maybe there was a trailer and maybe it got delayed. We're just going to have to wait and see what actually happened. But I do think if there was supposed to be Pokemon news that day, it definitely got pushed. And maybe we'll be on this upcoming Friday. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But it is about time that we do see some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news. We are beginning that marketing cycle very, very shortly. And then Riddler Coup tweeted out a picture of Teddiursa just like that. Remember when Riddler Coup tweeted out a picture of Sudowoodo? Well, he also put out a poll similar to how he did Sudowoodo. And he said, what is its type? Normal, bug, any, or honey? So we know it's a normal type. Bug doesn't really make any sense. Any sort of don't know what that means. And honey, well, bears do eat honey. That does make sense. Well, bugs are attracted to honey. So what does this actually mean? Well, I do want to bring up, though, like the Sudowoodo and Teddiursa, he did just tweet this out like randomly, just a picture. And then we would actually look at the two comparisons of the polls. What is its type for the Sudowoodo? Rock, grass, any, puppy. And then we look normal, bug, any, honey. So any is always the same. Rock and normal being their original type. And it is trying to look like a grass type. So that's probably why he brought out the grass. And he brought out bugs because bugs are attracted to honey. I think the honey and the puppy are maybe too random, but there is something to do with these polls, and I do think it's very interesting. So Riddler Coup says here, if you were clever enough, you must have noticed that the two polls share some similarities. After you solve them, you would understand the whole game framework of Scarlet and Violet. So looking at the tweets this person posted, there is a comparison. And yes, any was always posted here. The actual typing of the Pokemon, then a random another typing, and then something to do with a keyword. Puppy, I thought that was a central joke, but now that we see honey here, maybe it wasn't as much of a joke. So speaking of Teddiursa, we know we got Ursaluna in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and that became a normal ground type. So I do not think that we're going to get another evolution of Teddiursa, but maybe there is a way to change the type of the Pokemon that we have. I don't know if it's a new form or a new evolution, but I do think that maybe once during battle, you can actually change the type of your Pokemon. And it's sort of similar to like a Z Crystal. Maybe you have to hold a certain item on so you can actually do this. And that's going to be the big mechanic of just having your type being able to change on the fly. Probably just once per turn or maybe once during the entire battle. That's definitely going to change up the entire competitive scene. But it is weird that Sudowoodo and Teddiursa are both Gen 2 Pokemon. And they're both Pokemon that have an evolution that was granted to them later. I mean, Legends Arceus for Teddiursa. And then in Gen 4, Sudowoodo got a previous evolved form with Bonsly. So we're just going to have to see. But this is very interesting. I still hope that Sudowoodo gets something like an evolved form or something, maybe in a regional form. Maybe this is hinting at regional forms. Maybe there is going to be a regional Teddiursa that will always become an Ursaluna. I don't know. That's just something I can throw out there. But to be fair, there are a lot of bears out there, and bears would make a great regional type of Pokemon just because there's so many bears around the world. You can very easily make a regional bear for each area. That makes a lot of sense to me. And the last thing he tweets out here to cover is Titan C456. So C here is going to stand for champion, right? So the Gen 4 champion is Cynthia, Gen 5 is Alder and Iris, and Gen 6 is Dianthe. So each one of these pretty much are almost all female. So if we remove Adler here, they're all going to be female champions. So I think we could remove Adler and we can say that the Scarlet and Violet champion will probably be a female, but we don't really have any other information besides that. But we do know that every character, the gym leaders in the Elite Four, are going to use the new mechanic. So whatever the new mechanic is, she is going to probably have the big marquee ace Pokemon for that mechanic. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And guys, I'll keep you updated with any more riddles, leaks, and rumors that I have. And of course, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.